Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Volkswagen Atlas Peak Edition. This is kind of like Volkswagen's mini Land Cruiser in a way. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Volkswagen here in Orem for giving me some time with this Atlas. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 269 horsepower and then 273 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now you guys can see here with the hood kind of raised on either side, and I do like this green. It's kind of like a very off-road, rugged type color. Anyways, cool with the little turn signal indicator. Got the light that goes across the top, Volkswagen logo front and center. Got some nice blacked out trim and silver trim down below. And there's the front. Tire wheel setup is 255 by 60 by 18, and you can see the wheels completely blacked out with this. And you got kind of more rugged tires with this Peak Edition. Again, it's supposed to be like an off-roader. See big chunky fender flares. You've got your Peak Edition logo here on the side, and then you've got the rest of the cladding there at the bottom. And then here's your side profile. You can see it's got a boxy design. Now this leads us to the key fob where we've got our lock and unlock function. We've got the remote start, the opening for the rear hatch. It is power, by the way. Now you've got decent storage behind the third row, and yes, you do have a third row, kind of like a Toyota Land Cruiser, right? You got this cool orange stitching there with the third row. It is manual to third on the seats. But yeah, pretty practical when it comes to space. When you're all done, just press that button up top and that will lower the hatchback down. Now I've got this crazy light bar design here on the back end. You can see the SC badge there. And then you've got the fake exhaust tips there at the bottom because the exhaust is actually down below. Kind of an interesting design detail, but there's the rest of the rear. Now this leads us inside where we've got a sunshade here for the rear passengers. Got nice trim that goes across. You can see the stitching and everything down below. Look at these seats. Nice perforated trim all over. Got a little storage pocket there. And good room, by the way. Tons of room here. Got some vents here in the center. We've got our own climate zone here in the back. Got some charging ports and everything down below. And then good headroom with the boxy design. And then popping up front, again, we've got the soft touch here, cool trim down below. All of our window controls, mirror adjustments, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then again with the orange perforated trim all down the center. Power adjustments on the side. Got the pedals there. Light controls right here. And then again, more nice trim all over. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. We've got soft touch all around. Paddle shifters there on the back. Practical controls like adaptive cruise control here on the front. Controls there for the center gauge cluster, and then regular stocks in the back. Taking a look at the gauge cluster itself, I like the theme here, and you can change what this displays information wise, and then if you press the view button it'll kind of change the whole setup there. It's pretty darn customizable. A lot of other manufacturers have kind of done something similar nowadays that everyone's gone digital, but I still think this is cool. Backup camera in reverse. You do have parking sensors as well, and decent resolution. Trajectory lines, by the way, do turn with the steering wheel. And then, as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time with it. You do have some buttons below to go to different things. So like if I press the mode button, that'll pop up with the whole drive mode select. And yes, we do have an off-road mode with this. Again, it is the Peak Edition. Got some storage down here, USB ports, all of that. Engine stop, start. You get your little shifter there. It's kind of interesting looking. Parking brake with some cup holders. More storage underneath. And then big center console, nice trim on the top, regular glove box, rear view, mirror, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. Now here's a quick look at the window sticker for this Peak Edition, and you guys can see the total MSRP $48,080. And let's see how it performs. Well, I will say I do like the fact that we've got heated and cooled seats, mostly heated seats, because it is it's not that bad, 37 degrees, but it's cooler than it was the other day. It's one thing about Utah that's something takes time to get used to is the big temperature swings. Could be 20 degrees one day, 60 the next. And if you're outside like me all the time, you got to learn how to deal with it. What I will say, pro tip, the best thing you can do is eat food that's local. That actually helps out quite a bit, I've discovered. Don't understand the science behind it, but it works. And wear the same clothing. I know it sounds weird, but it helps out again. Because then it forces your body to adapt rather than, oh, well, it's colder, so I gotta wear more clothes, more coats and hats and stuff. You guys notice I wear like the same shirts all the time. Anyways, seats are comfortable. I like the bolstering. This engine's got quite a bit of torque actually for a little 4-cylinder. Sounds kind of interesting too. It's smooth. It's very smooth. And I think the other thing that's nice about this is with the 8-speed, it helps out with putting it where you want it to be power-wise. Let's pop it into the sport mode. Are you? Yeah, you're in the turn lane, so I assume they're turning. They just have the hazards. I mean, it's a mail truck though, so. By the way, whatever those mail trucks are made out of, we need to put that technology in other cars. Those things, I feel like they have like a bajillion miles on them, and they never die. We need that technology in modern cars, because modern cars have had issues. I like this. It sounds like the audio is piped in, by the way. It doesn't sound like that's real sound. Definitely sounds piped in, that's for sure. I'm still not sure about like this modern stuff with doing tons of screen on everything, but yeah, that's piped in. That's piped in for sure. There's no way this 4-cylinder sounds like that. No way, Jose. It is just too good sounding to be real. But I think that Volkswagen's brought up their interiors a massive amount. Like, this is a very premium space to be in. And I don't know, aside from that, it just drives well. Drives pretty darn well. And again, it's not like the fastest thing on the planet, but it's pretty darn quick. Pretty darn quick. So let me guys think about the new Atlas in general, and then this Peak Edition. I think the off-roading stuff is cool. What I will say though is we need to calm down on the fake off-road packages a little bit, because I mean, really what this is a normal Atlas just with slightly more aggressive tires. I mean, it looks cool. I'm okay with like manufacturers making this stuff, but I do think it can, like, untrained people can kind of confuse them a little bit, because it's like there's a huge difference between this and like let's say a Toyota 4Runner, for example. There's a huge difference in terms of where you can go off-road wise. But again, I also do appreciate, like, you know, TFL and other people have called these soft roaders. I appreciate these existing because there's a lot of people that want something that's still comfortable, daily drivable, drives like a regular car, but then they can take down a dirt road when they go on a camping trip with family. But again, this doesn't have a 2-speed transfer case. It's sorry, let me tilt this mirror down. I just want to make sure I don't hit this pole. Not my Atlas. Doesn't have a 2-speed transfer case, and it's unibody, independent suspension, so this is not like the off-road stuff. But I will say it's actually pretty darn, like, that's, I know going up a curb is not off-road, but I'll tell you, getting up curbs is oftentimes harder than a lot of off-road circumstances that you will experience. Getting up a curb in reverse, I should say. So the fact that it was able to kind of, yeah, just send the power in that way, I think that's pretty impressive. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the Peak Edition here with the Volkswagen Atlas. I think it's cool, but understand it's a soft rotor, but that's okay. You get the looks. You get some capability, but you still get the nice daily drivability.